You've got the attention, fool.
Oh, I love attention. Yeah. Fucking crazy.
I'll try to remember.
What's up, everybody? Very excited for tonight. It should be fun. Tonight's a little interesting, and I think you get out of it whatever you decide to put into it, and how open you're willing to be, how vulnerable you're willing to be, and how much you're willing to release. So it's going to be completely up to you. Regardless, it'll be fun. You know, everybody's here for different reasons, all different types of reasons. Some just health, some mental, some physical, some both, some everything in between. And you know, I'm just a big believer that this whole place, it brings like-minded guys together, allows us to be vulnerable with each other, be men, and not be judged by being men. And I think in the real life, default world, we're not really able to open up as much, and we're not able to have conversations. And you know, if you show any emotions or anything like that, you're considered weak. And I just don't want anybody to come with that energy. What I realize is that we all make this place what it is. It's the way that we're communicating with each other, opening up with each other, and pushing each other, being an heir to each other has really made a very big impact in my life in the last 26 days. So I really do appreciate all you guys. So the first part is to address some trauma, and a lot of people don't deal with trauma. If you've heard any of the conversations, I have a crazy upbringing, and I've dealt with a lot of trauma. Never really dealt with it with any professional help or anything like that. This is how I deal with it, either on a one-to-one or some shit like this, or I'll open up to people who I feel like I can trust. To some of us, we kind of have the traumatic experience. What you're gonna do is you're gonna freestyle write on this notebook. I think just the practice of it is what I'm aiming for everybody. And we're gonna just write for 10 minutes. And you're gonna reflect on that thing, those emotions. And really and truthfully, it really doesn't matter how it happened, why it happened, anything. The only thing that matters is your feelings. And that's the only thing that carries the trauma with us. And it's very therapeutic. You start to make a lot more sense of your feelings and your emotions, and you start to understand a little bit more of the triggers, because you start to make sense of something that's just lived chaotically inside of you. And then we're gonna burn it, and we're gonna howl, and we're gonna fucking chant, and we're gonna be men. So unless anybody has any questions or thoughts, we'll probably start writing pretty soon.
Yes, Paul. In the last few months I went through so many traumas. Yeah. I was already gone through it, so I can write it down, of course. Maybe I can read it first, it doesn't matter. Through it, I went through that pain already.
Yeah, I like to get the definition of things, same and so I wanted to kind of maybe more define trauma.
Well, I guess trauma could be whatever you want to put to it, but if there's a moment in your life that caused you grief, a significant amount of grief, a significant amount of pain, significant amount of self-doubt, if that's never been dealt with properly, subconsciously, it still exists. And those traumas come in everybody's life through some way, through somehow, in the way that you might handle your life, your decisions, your career, your relationships, your pride, everything. I do believe everybody deals with hardship and pain, and if it's just hardship and pain, then you're a very lucky person. But I've dealt with trauma and growing up in other areas of my life, relationships and breakups and stuff like that. So I think all men have dealt with trauma and are dealing with trauma. Everybody deals with something different.
I was just thinking, trauma is something that happens to me. Hardship is things that just generally happen that you go through.
Yeah. I believe whatever pops in your head is the right answer for you. You know, when it comes to experiences like this and trauma and everything like that, you have to be, at the end of the human thing, it's like, only do this with professionals.
I'm not with this small motherfucker.
So I should have led with that.
Okay, I killed myself, sorry.
So I might not have that, but I think it would be negligent if we were to...
What does that mean?
Oh, negligent? It would be like...
For example, if you got hurt at the gym and you just continued to work out and didn't pay attention to
You
the
neglect
injury,
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Neglect, yeah.
you got to put it in muscle terms.
Or so turn together.
Oh, wait, chunky monkeys.
I think it would be somewhat negligent to bring some of that trauma to the surface and not deal with it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna fucking deal with it, right? We're gonna shake that shit off, right? Process that, and we're not gonna let it sit on us, because it's spent enough time sitting on us. Some people, it's been carried around their whole life, so we're gonna let some of that go. I just wanna start from this side and work around. Grab the paper, give a liner or two, throw that bitch in. Somebody wants to share it, I applaud it. And you do not have to share it. I actually think it would be fucking incredible if people were to share it, so.
Shall I start then?
It's on you, bro.
Oh, fuck, yeah. I know that now, I know why I didn't want to sit here. Oh, yeah. I'll go in there. So, no, I felt like when we were talking about trauma, so I'm thankful for that. And of course, you know, everybody has their own difficulties and everybody goes through them. And if we can all help each other a little bit tonight, I think that would be marvelous.
Jaya.
Jaya.
Before I burn, let me say, I think we're all gonna miss you. How strange it sounds, but I think we'll miss you. Yeah, definitely. I think I've just got one trauma, so that's a positive thing about it. And let's see if it goes away then via this. So that's my story.
Jaya.
Jaya.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Better.
I gotta take a
I appreciate that. Yeah, this was good. This is special, brother.
You coming down? Are you coming down?
Yeah,
Tonight was cool, man. It was Paul's last night tonight. The people come and go. The culture here always changes. If you can hear laughter going down, it's probably because Paul's out there talking shit. So it's his last night tonight, and he's been here for 25 days. He got us to do an exercise, and we kind of wrote down most traumatic things that happened to us. Then we tossed them into the fire. But first we kind of went around the circle and spoke on the things that we'd written down. And I must say, man, it was so helpful for me, because when I started this, I picked a difficult road. You know, there's easier ways to make a name for yourself than pressing record and just bleeding, so that other people can hopefully learn from your mistakes. It continues to be resistance there that I have to push up against every time I press record, every time I pull this camera out. I'm having serious internal conflict, because it's challenging a lot of deep-rooted beliefs that I've held for a long, long time. And the only way to deal with that is to bring it into light. Take it easy, my bro. Thanks for tonight, eh?
Yes.
That's Paul there. I think being here and sharing tonight for all of us to chime in, and it really helped recenter me, realign me on why I'm doing this, on the fact that I'm not alone, we're not alone. Really what this is a healing journey that I'm just sharing. Everyone's got so much shit. Nobody's exempt. There were tears tonight, there was lots of tears, and I shared my stuff, and there was a time that the idea of bringing these things to light would have rocked my world, but I've begun down that road already. It didn't really shake me like it might have once upon a time. So this has been an extreme learning process for me. The older I get and the further I get down this path of healing, the more that I realize how crucial this is for everybody to go through. If you want to grow and to evolve holistically, fully, from the bottom up, the old-fashioned way, the proper way, the straight way, at some point you're going to have to deal with your trauma and the nasty shit that you've been stuffing way down. There's no way around that. And there's a country song, the chorus goes like, push it down, it comes out sideways. And I believe that's true, man. When we suppress these things, when we stuff them down, they will find a different way to manifest themselves, one way or the other. That's also the Jungian idea of the shadow, right? Like, until you make something conscious, it's gonna pull your strings from the dark, and you won't even know it. You don't even know why you are the way you are. And I think if you're trying to get to the bottom of who am I, what's my purpose, why am I on this earth, what's it all about, sooner or later you're gonna have to turn that mirror inwards and This is the kind of stuff that comes up. There was about 15 of us here tonight, maybe. We all shared, we all had things happen to us that scarred us. We all felt discomfort in sharing this and talking about this. I began by filming this thing. I didn't know how it would go. After the first person spoke, I turned my camera off. I'm like, okay, this is real. This isn't a content opportunity. We're diving deep. Being here, listening to everybody share their deepest, darkest stuff reminded me once again that the wound is where the light enters you. That courage is contagious. And that everybody has their shit and is going through their shit. And there's power in that. When you realize that, it's like you can stop pretending in a way. To remain steadfast, man. To stay on this track. To keep talking about this stuff. Go even further. To go deeper. Because this is what matters. This is what's real. This is what heals, bro. And for every 9 person that's out there rolling their eyes like, cornball, fair play, I get you. But there's one person out there that's like, fuck, I needed this. And there's one, maybe another person who's like on the edge right now, who's listening to this, just sucking up every word, man. And to you, most likely my brother, hold on, bro. A little while longer. You don't believe it right now, but you're gonna figure it out. If I could figure it out, you can figure it out. Speaking on this stuff is useful, is helpful, is needed, is lacking in today's world. This is all I have to offer. Yeah, I don't know how to sell cars. I can't teach you how to make $1 million. I've said it before and I will say it again, man. My area of expertise are these kind of struggles. But these are very much universal issues, I think. Mankind have battled with this stuff from the dawn of time. The way that we fix this is to speak about it, to share what we've learned, to give each other the tools to handle this. You know, there's something that I read today that was encouraging. The idea of like the 10% ahead teacher, essentially that there's a teacher for every level of the journey. You know, this whole content thing has been an extremely upheaving enterprise for me. This has really uprooted all my core beliefs. My trauma's all bubbled up and all of these things that were long suppressed, beliefs that have held me down and held me back for as long as I can remember. Now that I'm in the game, opened my mouth, stated my intention and began on this way, a new level of accountability has caused all of these issues to manifest, to rise and to be forced to be dealt with. I can't skip this shit anymore. I said I would do it and now I have to do it. But that's why I said it, you know, because I needed that. I needed to use my voice like a deposit. I've stated big things out there. I've put them out there. You saw it. And now I have to cash this check. I've been revived with a new confidence, and tomorrow I'm gonna fire up the camera again and continue. Honestly, I can't think of something that terrifies me more than the route I've picked here. And I don't say that to jerk myself off that I'm so brave, because I'm not. I think this is bigger than me. Who knows where this will lead? I'm off to sleep, man. My mind is racing, but my body is shifting into sleep mode. Who knows what tomorrow holds? Signing out. Good night.